water test dramatically illustrates the difference between closed-cell foam technology, developed exclusively by Amerityre, and open-cell foam, which is found, without exception, in every other manufacturer's foam tires. Dave Martin, Vice President of Sales and Marketing for Amerityre, conducts the demonstration.
We take a section of open cell foam, and virtually all of the companies make the same open cell type product, and we immerse it in water. Then we squeeze it. You may notice bubbles coming to the surface. Rick mentioned a sponge. Well, that's what this is. Unfortunately, it's a very expensive sponge. The water that's on the surface will continue to absorb on into that sponge. As a matter of fact, if we sprinkle drops on it, it will suck those right on into that structure. Likewise, if we dry it off and we squeeze it, you will notice water coming out of it very easy. Virtually no pressure from me, and yet water continues to come out of that section. Again, we can put drops back on it. It will absorb those back into the sponge because it is a sponge. You can see how the surface is bubbling and then it sucks it right back in. By contrast, if we take the closed cell foam, this is, think of it as an armful of balloons all pressing against each other. So each little cell is its own individual piece. And when I go in and squeeze it, unlike the other one, the only bubbles you're going to see are what are coming from my hand on the piece itself. Now I take it out and I set it down. You'll notice that the water remains on the surface. That water isn't being sucked into the piece. So now, again, to be fair in the test, dry off my hand and dry off the piece, and we'll squeeze it. Now remember, there are cut cells here, so there are some open cells, because when we cut the piece, we cut about 3% of the cells in the piece to create the sample. Here we go, we're going to squeeze that now. Well, let's get both hands, because we do have stronger carrying capacity. Now let's take this one back again, continue to get water out of it. This one, the water's just sitting on the surface, it's not going in even when we try and force it in. So this one doesn't absorb water, this one absorbs water. That affects the carrying capacity. These open cell foams collapse on themselves. The closed cell foams support the weight. We can carry the weight, our competitor can't.